name is Denise Hurley, and this is another episode of Journeys, but it's a little different this time because we are filming down at the Lancaster Community Center, which I'm really excited to be here, and I'm really excited to have Kelly Dolan here as my guest. She is the Lancaster Health and Human Services Director.
That is correct.
All right. Welcome, Kelly.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. All right. So first off, let's find out a little bit about you. Who is Kelly Dolan?
Sure. So I am, at this point, a 20-year veteran of being in the health and human services arena. I've had quite a background from working at a Boys and Girls Club to a YMCA to a nonprofit first response agency where we oversaw elder services, Head Start, WIC programs, DTA programs, et cetera, all in director roles, thank goodness. So I've had quite a role and journey in that, which led me here. I was then in housing for just shy of 5 years, and then I was able and blessed to be a part of this position, which part of that journey includes in May I'm actually graduating from Clark with my master's, an MPA in.
That's wonderful.
Thanks. I'll be getting an MPA in senior leadership, so Master's in Public Administration, which has brought me to the municipality arena, and I'm very excited for that. Outside of that, we have a soon-to-be 14-year-old at home, a 7-year-old at home, a 15-month-old puppy who's about almost 90 pounds now, named Arlo, and he's getting famous on Instagram. If anyone wants to watch him, he's Adventures with Arlo. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So he's a half Rhodesian Ridgeback and half Lab, and that's my life consists of that. I actually, as another fun fact, I did triathlons for 10 years in my life, and I took a break from it. I'm going back into that life after school. So I'm doing a triathlon at the end of the year. I'm doing a half Ironman. So that's me, my after school 2 years worth of just sitting at a desk from work to school for 2 full years to finally getting back to being outside again.
Oh,
so that's
goodness.
my big goal by the end of the year.
Is it?
Yeah.
And where would you be doing that?
I'm actually doing it up in Maine.
Okay.
So that'll be really exciting. They're all over. I usually try to do them in Massachusetts, Maine, and Rhode Island are like the 3 states I did a lot of racing in. But that's one thing that not many people know about me, but I love biking, all aspects of it. And then I love swimming, and I despise running, so I usually should train on that last. And yeah, that'll probably be it for a while though. So it's probably gonna be my big last one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Very exciting.
Thanks.
Wow. Love that.
Thanks.
So let's go back to, why did you come to Lancaster? What brought you here?
Absolutely. It's a great question. I get it a lot, and if there's one thing about me, it's probably I'm incredibly consistent. And my message with why I came to Lancaster is the job description is clearly what started my peak interest in learning more about the town and what was going on, why this department was being developed, what was needed, what they were looking for in a person. And I really had to ask myself, do I fit this mold of the physical job description? And the answer to that was yes. There's both the IQ and the EQ that comes along with this, right? Like, do I have the ability, the physical aptitude to do it? The answer to that was yes. On the softer side of things, the human skills, as I like to call them, that emotional intelligence is, I'm emotionally invested in the work that is being done here. And then when I learned more about the town, it really became something where I knew the person coming into this position had to be incredibly, academically strong, but also incredibly devoted, in my personal opinion, to being, in my case, a woman of the people, right? It's not about being a politician, but it's almost that statement and that notion of the politicians of like, I'm a man or woman of the people. And that's really true. You're dealing with people. This is a community center. It's much, it's much more than you can imagine, in the sense of there's people from all walks of life that come in here. And again, knowing there was going to be some challenges ahead, I knew I had the skin to do it, but I also knew I had the desire, no matter what was really coming at me, to try to some of it was battling, some of it was combating, and then other parts were just building anew. And that was the really big draw for me, was knowing that there was going to be, for the first time ever, I could really build something from the people we hire, to making sure that it's, they're all right fits for the position and for the, personalities. Knowing that I was able to work with someone and for someone like Kate. Kate is somebody I'm sure a lot of people can attest to this, where sometimes you love your job, but you don't love who you do it for. And in today's day and age, there's, we just went through what was called like the Great Resignation from COVID. And people don't want to work for someone. They want to work for someone that they believe in. And if you believe in their beliefs, you're working for the right reasons and you're working for the right people. And in turn, they usually are helping you grow just as much as you're trying to help them, grow, not look good, but, for lack of a better term, like look good as far as what we're doing. And so all of that being said, that message is rang true of every conversation I have with people is, why not Lancaster, right? Like, why not help people? Our job is to do that, and everyone helps in different ways. People become police officers and firefighters to help people in that manner. They become nurses in that manner, but where you decide to reside in that job, it speaks volumes if you can stay there for a while and grow there for a while and build something beautiful. And that's, for me, my goal here, is to do just that with these folks that we have.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we're very glad you're here.
Oh, thank you very much.
We are. Now, looking at the transformation that has happened here at the center, the Community Senior Center, can you explain what's happened here?
Yeah, absolutely. If you haven't been down, please stop by. So we did definitely a bit of an overhaul. We have new floors, new wooden floors in the building. We have fresh coats of paint. We have this beautiful kind of Snow White and kind of slate blue look going throughout the entire building. We also have our 3 kind of makeshift offices that were used for something different at one point, but we've quite literally been able to bring in kind of couches, create like a kind of an open mic cafe look in the room next door. We've also been able to create book clubs, so we have kind of centered speaking, conversation rooms. We've had new card tables brought in, and then in this room specifically that we're in now, which is our cafe, we brought 10 kind of bistro tables in with 40 chairs, where we host, anything from what we kind of call lunch and learns, like education series, to sincere just conversations, to what will be on actually this Thursday, we'll be hosting a breakfast here, a catered breakfast here, and for the community. And it's just been absolutely amazing to see that transformation of what has come into the building, how many people have returned to say, oh my goodness, I can't believe what it looks like now, to rentals. We've rented this building out now over 20 times since October. The building was actually not completed until pretty much the end of October. So even if you were to say almost November, we're only in April, that's a monumental number of people using it, from anything from birthday parties to private rentals, to showers. It's been phenomenal, and I can't say enough for I love walking in every day and seeing the new feel. And it's like anything else, it's just about moving forward and improving every single day and every single year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked a little about the renovations here. Now, do you see anything else happening with the space? Do you see any more renovations or anything additional?
Sure. I don't think we're going to do much renovations per se, but I would say that we are, like, outside, as an example, we're going to be getting our community gardens underway. So we'll be doing a bit outside the center. Even our patio, we'll be getting a kind of a 6-person seated table out there that's being donated. And again, we have some kind of underlying thoughts, but a lot of them are dealing around the community gardens, but that's to be determined until I have definite answers there. We'll say be on the watch out for what's going to happen outside. Other than that, the inside, one thing we are planning on doing, and I'm really looking forward to it, is actually having an art show, and we're going to be collaborating. You're one of our key players in that. At some point, we're going to be working with the school system as well, and our goal here is to have a community art show and then actually hang photos of people's art in the hallways, and that's kind of why they're bare right now. But the reason for that is because we're going to be putting artwork up, and so we're really excited to have that. That's probably going to be a fall program, but about every 3 months we'll kind of rotate what that looks like, and yeah, that's going to make it really kind of whole for me personally on the inside. There's a reason why the walls were white, and one, they'll age well, and two, yeah, they'll be able to really showcase people's work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Can we get back to the community garden?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit about that program?
Yep, absolutely. So this is my first time going through it, and we have some really amazing people who are in charge of the community garden that they meet every Thursday, 10 o'clock down here. Right now we have a few more slots left if anyone's interested in getting a garden. I believe it's $25 to get a garden bed. And what they do is it's an educational series the entire time for the entire season, along with being able to, of course, reap the benefits of the fruit of your labor. And we're noticing a new kind of wave of people coming in wanting to learn more about gardening and kind of creating their how to cook and really grow their own food. I think especially because some of the conversations I've had is because of the cost, for example, of food on the rise. And it's obviously not showing any signs of going down, and hopefully it'll stop and cease, but we're really looking forward to seeing what we're going to do this year, and maybe even hosting, and we've talked a little bit about it, at the end of the year, hosting, to have people come down and actually have everyone cook something that they've grown that year and make something from it, and do kind of like a potluck from the community garden to the community to have food and know what you can do with that. So we'd have little recipe cards and showcasing that, so we can continue to grow that program as we move forward.
Oh, that's exciting. I like that a lot.
Thank
I really
you. Yeah.
do. Very nice.
Yeah.
Now, we have a whole new department, services.
Yes.
Everything going on here with
We do.
Health and Human Services. Can you talk about the different services? Maybe we can start with Caitlin's
Absolutely.
role.
Yeah, so Caitlin Roy is kind of lovingly known as our town social worker. Caitlin her physical title is Activities and Outreach Coordinator. What Caitlin does is kind of specifically geared towards helping people who are in need of services in regards to our social aspect. That could be anything from aging services to healthcare to Medicaid to transportation services, insurance purposes. If there's, kind of thankfully, I should say this, one monumental aspect here that I have to say thank you to our Lancaster Police Department is Chief Moody and I have been working really closely, and we work with Caitlin on calls when there's a call that happens, and there's kind of this Framingham model some people might have heard about, which is the Framingham model in the police department is they actually have a social worker on call with the police department at all times, 24/7. We don't have that, but our kind of Lancaster model right now that we're building is when those calls come in for a wellness check, we're able to go to the wellness checks. Caitlin can get a call from a police officer that's saying, I have to go to a wellness check. This is my concern with them. This is their history, and we're able to bring Caitlin there as a licensed social worker to do such and help, de-escalate or find out what's going on. Perhaps offer services there. We've been on calls. It could be someone that was hoarding, and there's some issues going on in their home, and we understand that there's some mental health services that are needed, and we're able to collaborate. So with Caitlin, it's much more than for numbers. I mean, Caitlin has been able to help and assist over 500 people in her short time here, and Caitlin was hired in November. Caitlin has developed over 30 programs, new programs for this community. Which is, agreed, absolutely amazing. And with that being said, it speaks volumes for the fact that we've had over 100 new members join the club in the sense of, and I say it as a club because, you know, we consider this, it is a community center, but it's like a club, like everyone is welcome, you know, and not to transition into recreation, but it is for all members of our community of all ages. You know, we have, you know, Kevin in recreation, who's been able to develop over 20 programs for recreation. And Kevin was hired in late October. And, you know, he's currently working on the beach program, and he's working on summer programming so that we can hopefully have people in Lancaster not consider Lancaster kind of just a bedroom town. And what I mean by that is, you know, if you're just sleeping here, your house resides here, but your work, your kids' programming, you know, everything you do is outside of Lancaster. You're really just sleeping here, and we want people to know that we're going to host and do everything we can to build, as far as what this department kind of does, is build an area where we can be a resource for you, we can be a referral source for you, we can be an activity space for you and your family, and of course, when it comes down to in Kevin's world, you know, for kids, like if we could become a summer programming and maybe down the lines, you know, have like a camp here, you know, I won't say it too loud, but a summer camp program. That would be huge in time too, so that people don't have to travel to which we want them to be able to go outside of this community, but to have that in your community is phenomenal. Yes. And to have some of these spaces in this particular building, you know, I'm overseeing Board of Health, Council on Aging, you know, Recreation, Council on Disability, I'm working with, you know, affordable housing. To have that many people who might need those services here and then more has been astounding for us to see. And to know that this town can offer all of that in one building. Yes. And I just couldn't be prouder of the work that, you know, that we are being able to do, and it's because of everyone, and we thank the community. You know, I said a couple of weeks ago, I believe you were in the audience when we had a bit of a little town meeting, and department heads were getting up and talking about their departments and kind of what we do, and I made this statement that, you know, my mom told me growing up, you know, there's one thing to live in a community, and then there's another thing to be a part of the community. And what we do here is we're giving people the ability to understand what it is like to be a part of a community, not just maybe a part of a soccer team, you know, or part of like a softball team. Like, this is about being a part of a community, which is 12 months out of the year, we are here. We're not just going to participate in the Halloween on the greens and the egg hunts, and, you know, we're going to be there, but we're also building community in this building every day. Right. And I think that's what's important, is it's not always about the big glitz and glam, you know, events that we have, which are always fun, and we love them, but it's also about the everyday needs from teens and youth that need help, you know, to parents who are coming here, and we're doing kind of social media awareness. You know, we're running scams programming for elders. You know, we're offering the gamut of programming. You know, and I think that's new, and I think it's just going to take time. They say it takes 6 months to change something, and they say it takes 18 months to create the culture in which you have been working towards, and you know, I've just hit my 6-month mark here. So I did, yeah. Not that I'm counting. But, you know, the bar is set high, but the bar is set high by us. Yep. And it's set high by the community need. It's not, you know, it's for all intents and purposes, it is, you know, the best case scenario, meaning we are hearing what people are needing, and then we're trying to provide as much as we can and as fast as we can because of that.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so have we talked about how many new people have been coming into the center?
Yeah, we've had over 1,200, you know, physical sign-ins in 6 months, and, you know, there's plenty of people who don't, you know, kind of come in and sign in, and that's okay, but they might just be, yeah, that's all right, they might just be visiting. But, you know, from data statistics wise, let's talk about like our statistics. We've had 1,200 people over 1,200 people, sign in. We've had over now 100 people, new members, sign up for, you know, a card to come to the community center. As you might know, and if you don't know, we do have two kind of kiosks where when you come in it says My Senior Center on it. That's just the program, but you sign in so that we know that someone's in the building, someone's physically here, and in that kiosk hosts all of the programming that we're doing and that we have going on kind of that day. And it could be people just coming in to utilize the gym. which happens a lot. We have a gym on the backstage of our gymnasium. And it's been wonderful to watch those numbers grow. And they've grown exponentially since January. So once this team was full, it really started to show, again, kind of the need of what we have going on, and also how many people want to join these new programs, which we're, again, incredibly grateful for. Yeah.
And you have the famous pickleball going on in the building.
Yes,
too.
I hear it in my sleep. Yes, we have pickleball going on right now, and we have 16 sessions of pickleball a week, and we've also added in 4 new pickleball, like novice and intermediate sessions, for people to basically learn how to play. And that has taken off tremendously, which has been great. So we're really excited to see that grow as well. It is literally taking over Lancaster and much more. Yeah.
So a lot of people can find out, obviously, with the crier, the community crier, on cable, on TV. They can see all the activities going on. So the word's out there, what's going on down here.
Good. Keep it that way.
Absolutely. Okay. How do you see the center and you growing in the years coming?
It's a great question. My goal would be, to really have this become a place of building memories for people. Just the way this was once, a school, and people come down here and say, oh my gosh, this was my classroom, and my daughter came here, or I taught in this classroom. I want this to become a place where people are able to build those memories with their friends, with their families, to grow in regards to what services we're able to offer people, working with the schools, working with our local first responders, continuously doing that, hosting CPR first aid classes as an example, with the fire department down here for both the community and our town employees. Really creating this to be a central hub is my biggest goal, to have it, dare I say, be like the conduit to the town in general, as far as this, if this could be the conduit that brings, us to help people who are in need of assistance of any kind, but also just maybe even to the other town departments. Our collaboration has grown tremendously with the town and with the departments and all of those people in between. And I think that would be my time that I would say I'd be okay, passing this baton off to somebody else at that point and saying, we've done our job. People know who we are. The kids know who we are. Like we're a warm and welcoming, not just center and space and place, but we have so much going on for all avenues of life that I would be able at that point to say, it's, I've done my job, I've done my due diligence, and wherever I go from there, I think will absolutely be the time frame, to do that at that point. Hopefully within the town, right?
Exactly.
But that would be my goal, is to help and continue to move, people along in the department. Yeah.
Great. Okay. All right. Okay. Do you have any other message for the townspeople? Can you think of anything else you'd like them to know
That's
about
great.
yourself, or what's well, we got some stuff happening this summer, right?
We do. We have a lot happening this summer. Absolutely. We have some actually amazing barbecues that the Friends are going to be putting on. So we thank you for that. We're going to be doing kind of a lunch potluck barbecue with some music and games in June, July, and August. We have a big concert that's going to be coming up in September that people will be hearing about. But
Vance Gilbert, for those who know who are folkies.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
I got to put it out there.
Yeah, little plug for Vance. So we're excited for that, and again, we're working with MRE for programming,
Yes.
so for summer programming. and for kids, our youth. And I would say for right now, obviously we thank you, so much, everyone, and we look forward to meeting more people, more families. And please, definitely keep an eye out for the crier, sign up for the email, or you'll see it at your local post office and whatnot. But we're here because of the people. So thank you guys for everything you do.
Okay. Well, thank you, Kelly, so
Thank you, Denise.
much. I really appreciate you sitting down and letting us know who you are, what's going on here.
Thanks.
And highly encourage everybody to come down and see what's happening here. So again, thank you, Kelly.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and I'm Denise Hurley. This is Journeys, and I'll see you next time.